They say 4 seasons change people. When they hurt enough that they have to. When they see enough that they're inspired to. When they learn enough that they want to. And when they receive enough that they're able to. Whatever your season and how untimely it may feel, you've been given the reason to change. Making mistakes humanizes us. All mistakes are rooted by desires. Desires that make you struggle. Struggling that makes you fall. If you don't catch or correct your mistake in time, this process of desire into struggle and struggle into failure will tell you that you have fallen and failed. But it's still not too late. It's what you do after making that mistake is what really matters. In order to change permanently, we must first understand why we haven't completely changed till this point. We falter in life because we're living with unawareness. When you are unaware, you get stuck in a cycle. Every mistake, you suffer. But you don't know it's making you suffer because you're unaware from all the repetition. When you are in a repetitive cycle, you don't realize you're in a repetitive cycle. You're unaware to recognize it. Our mind is fragile. It wants everything and it wants nothing. It wants to be everywhere and it wants to be nowhere. Take an alcoholic, for example, who is trying to quit. In the morning, he makes a promise to himself that he will not drink. As evening approaches, his stomach starts to churn. He gets fidgety. He needs a fix. So he heads over to the bar and he truly enjoys his drinks. And then later on, in the middle of the night, when he's feeling nauseated, he regrets. He wishes he came home from work instead of going to the bar. It would have avoided all the fights and unpleasantries at home that come from a result of alcoholism. And so the next morning, he wakes up and he makes that promise to himself again. And the cycle repeats. From being committed to quit drinking in the morning, to enjoying his drinks in the evening, to regretting his drinking at night. 3 desires, 3 options, 3 identities, 1 personality within a span of a day. The same could be for a person who has cheated in a marriage. They repent and commit and promise not to do it again. And then all of a sudden, it's happening again. And again they repent. And that is because there is 3 identities living within this person. The cheater, the committed spouse, and the guilty lover. As in the alcoholic's case and the cheater's case, and in all cases really, the multiple identities of each personality are not the same. And so they begin to contradict with each other. You can go about your entire day feeling differently about your partner. In the morning, you're grouchy and grumpy and have nothing but negative thoughts about them. In the afternoon, you're a little calmer, less anxious about the person. In the evening, you seem to forget everything that bothered you. You feel happy with them. Some uncertainties linger, but overall, you're ready to end the evening peacefully cuddling them. The next morning, the cycle starts all over again. Your partner could be going through the same process, but maybe in opposite timings. What does that lead to? Conflict of emotion. This is normal for all humans to experience, multiple identities of one personality within a very short span, and not to be able to control these conflicting identities completely because they are unaware. Okay? Unaware of how your mind produces chemicals as a reaction to the things and the activities that you indulge in. If you're going through stress, if you are on a new diet, if you're training excessively, if you're preparing for a big event, all these contribute to the way chemicals are delivered to and from the brain. Often these create imbalances. And because of these imbalances, our moods alter, which then turns our judgment blurry, which then gives way for mistakes, serious mistakes. So you need to understand and be very aware of it. This session is focused on the question if people do change. If you want to understand more on how to take control and how to change, then you can hop over to the video on the screen from a few days ago, which details the steps to follow when you are seriously thinking about changing, when you're seriously thinking about changing something, when you want to stop faltering. Coming to the question, do people change? Yes, people change. Not only do humans have the ability to change willingly, humans can also change unwillingly. The ones that have succeeded to make minor or complete transformations all understand one thing: take complete control over your emotional outbursts and reactions. Whether you are the type to implode or the type to explode, it's important to control your emotions because these control your actions. If you are watching this video, then you don't need the basic steps to identify your mistakes, but rather serious confrontation and intervention with yourself. Watch yourself. Pay close attention to everything you're doing. If you're rude or have inappropriate communication skills, pay close attention. If you are a miser or cut corners on payments, pay close attention. If you are lusting on someone else, pay close attention. If you're dishonest or manipulating or lying, pay close attention. Pay close attention because it takes a split moment for the rude behavior to turn violent. It takes a split second for a miser to become a thief at what he may seem to be an innocent opportunity. It takes a split second for lust to turn into an affair, and it takes a split second for manipulation and dishonesty to turn you into a con artist. It takes a split second for a mistake to turn into a crime. That's the reality. So pay close attention to yourself over the coming weeks and months. Watch yourself vigilantly. You want to change, right? It's time to change, right? Start by changing how you watch yourself. Be very alert of your mistakes. Let me tell you that transition is very scary. You can't hold on to anything. In the beginning, the desires and requirements to change seem so confusing. You know something's going on inside. You know it, but you're not quite there yet. You can't get a grip of it. And in those moments, you could give up and go back to your old ways. And that's when you need to remind yourself, transition is very scary. You can't hold on to anything. People and situations change before you change, but stick to your commitment, stick to that path, and you will come out on the other side. And when you do, that's when you will own the rights to say, no one will ever know the violence it took to become this gentle. Control your desires, watch yourself vigilantly, and be patient with yourself while you change. Be safe, be positive, and keep taking those steps forward.